Okay. So, good morning, everyone. The start of another week. Deep breath in. Sigh the breath out if that feels good. Becoming aware of your body as it rests onto the earth. Using the exhales to soften into that support. As we start the practice of yoga, the practice of uniting the mind, the body, and the spirit, we use the physical practice to become more aware of our everyday stuff, thoughts, feelings, actions. And with that awareness comes maybe a little bit of change. Deep breath in, soft breath out. And in my practice over the past over a month, it's been brought to me by my teachers that the breath is really the only constant right now. Everything's in flux, but we have the breath. So we use that to draw us back into the stable earth, that support that's always beneath us, the expansive sky above us, and here we are right in between with our wise heart and our breath. And as we become aware of the breath, the thoughts start to settle, and we bring just a little more peace into the mind, the body, and the spirit. Not that we want to ignore the future, but it doesn't do us any good to hold on to that. We find the potential in the present, in this breath, right now. So as you breathe in, bring awareness to the breath in. And as you breathe out, bring awareness to breathing out. And maybe you start to feel that the breath brings you into doing one thing at a time. The breath teaches us that we can do only one thing at a time. Aware of the breathing in, aware of the breath out. When you can't see a future, we bring ourselves into the present. Right here with this breath. It's such a simple practice, and we lose sight of it in our everyday comings and goings. So we come back to the mat to remember that the breath is always with us to guide us into one step at a time, one thing at a time, right here, right now. Aware of the wise heart, of the earth beneath you, and the vast sky above you. We say we breathe completely into the lungs to allow the thoracic body to fill. To allow the lungs to accept as much oxygen as we open to. allowing a softening with each exhale and a deepening with the inhale without any effort. And Ralph Gates offers us a breathing into the wings of the heart. Really connected with that image. You say lungs, maybe we don't have such a romantic vision. Since I'm a romantic, I like the idea of breathing into the wings of the lungs, of the heart, sorry. Wings of the heart. And as you breathe in and breathe out, it's that image of the wings of the heart. Enable the breath to go maybe just a little deeper, a little softer, with a little less effort, with a little more awareness to that gentle breath that's always there. Giving you the message of just this. Just breathing in. And this breath out. As we move into our practice, can you move with the breath for just this movement? And then the next. Aware of moving with the breath throughout the practice. So with your next inhale, allowing the arms to extend and floating them to a comfortable position as you soft the shoulders, down the back, away from the ears. Extending through the fingertips without an extra ounce of effort to feel a little more length through the side body. Maybe extending into the heels if your legs are straight. Aware of the breath. Can you do just this? How does that feel? And with your next exhale, maybe you point the toes. And breathe into this space that you've created, that you've opened to allow the breath to fill. And with your next exhale, allowing the arms to float to either side of the hips. And then slide them out into T. Make that a comfortable pose so that the shoulders are soft. And with your exhale, bending just the elbows, leaving the upper arms resting on the earth, tapping the fingers to the chest. Inhaling, opening up the arms slowly, mindfully, and exhaling, tapping the chest. Linking simple movement with breath. The breath teaching us that we can only do one thing at a time. This brings a little peace to the thoughts. And maybe you start to flex and point the feet in the rhythm of the breath, with the rhythm of your breath and the movement of your arms. Keeping that easy breath without an extra ounce of effort. Aware of the breath, filling the heart space, and then filling the space surrounding you. And the next time you inhale, find stillness with the extended arms and legs. Soften the back of the neck and the jaw and the eyes. And with your next exhale, gather the belly in one knee and then the other draws in for a hug. Maybe you clasp in back of the knees, the thighs, and maybe you rock from side to side or rest here in stillness, watching the breath. Noticing what you've brought to your practice today. Can you use the exhales to soften into the tight places and spaces to allow the breath to move a little deeper throughout your practice? Coming to stillness here, releasing the bind, allowing the arms to float to the earth and the feet float to the earth with bent knees. Feet are hips distance, so space between the feet, about the length of a dollar bill, heels in alignment with the sitting bones. With your exhale, the belly button hugs towards the earth, opening up the lower back, noticing how does this feel? Where's my edge? Not forcing anything. Keep the breath moving. With your next inhale, hip points rock towards the knees as you rock on the sacrum. Nothing leaves the earth except the lower back. Exhaling, lumbar curve starts to open towards the earth, doesn't have to touch. With your inhale, allowing for that curve, maybe going a little deeper as you lift through the front body, puffing up the heart. Exhaling, back comes longer onto the earth. Moving with your breath. 3 more rounds like this. Complete inhales, softening exhales. Noticing what you notice without attaching to it or judging or expecting anything, just like we try to move through life. One breath, one step at a time. Aware, noticing, trying to let go of our attachments, of our gripping, just like we let go of the gripping in the body. With your next inhale, allow for a neutral spine, a gentle curve in the lower back. Exhaling, hugging just the right knee in towards the chest. Maybe the thigh rests against the belly, you soften the shoulders. Maybe you interlace the fingers in back of that knee. And then just notice, how does this feel in the lower back, the back of the thigh, maybe even in your glutes? Can you soften? With your exhale, maybe the belly gently gathers and you draw that thigh just a little closer. Breathing into the entire back body. Aware of the breath in, aware of the breath out. With your exhale, root the sacrum to the earth and release the bind. Inhaling, that heel extends straight up to the ceiling, lengthening into the back of the leg. Slowing down your movements as you move with the breath so that you're aware of your edge. Rooting both hips, equal weight in both sides to the earth as you reach that heel up towards the ceiling and the toes down towards your knees. Without efforting into the back of the knee. Making some circles through the ankle now. As if you had a crayon on that big toe. Nice big circles out and around. 3 times in one direction, and then 3 times in the other, as if you were moving in honey. And coming to stillness and fanning the toes away from each other and gently curling them in. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, gently fisting the toes. One more round like this. And then coming to stillness as you flex that foot again and cross the ankle over the thigh. Softening that right knee away from you. And noticing, is there equal weight in both sides of the hip as you lie, rest the sacrum on the earth? Keeping the length in both sides of the body and breathing into that heart space. Allowing the wings of the heart to open. Maybe you're staying right here, just breathing into that right hip, lower back, wherever you feel this, outside of the thigh. Keeping the foot flexed, the toes drawing towards the knee. Maybe you walk that left heel a little closer to the left sitting bone. How does this feel? Maybe you're backing out of it. Maybe with your exhale, both knees float over towards the left, as if you could stand that right foot on the floor, but it doesn't touch. Inhale, rock back to a neutral spine, resting on the sacrum. Exhale, keep lengthening that right knee or offering that right knee to move away from you, to lengthen through the right side body. And inhale, back up. Nice. The ankle is over the thigh. The knee is working away from you. Or maybe you're resting in stillness, focusing on the breath, breathing into the right hip. And then coming to stillness, exhaling, gathering the belly, and inhaling, extending that right leg up to the ceiling one more time. And then bending the knee, floating that foot to the earth. And exhaling the left knee in for a hug. Interlacing the fingers and back of that thigh, softening through the shoulders and the arms, no efforting. With your exhale, maybe the belly gathers a little more and that thigh comes a little closer to rest. Maybe this side feels a little different than the other. Just noticing, using the breath to soften, to go deeper with the exhales as you feel an opening. With your next exhale, the bind releases, the hands float to the earth, and inhale, extend that heel straight up as you root into the hip. Always finding the foundation and lengthening from there. That strong support of the earth and the vast opening of the sky. And we breathe somewhere in between that. And making some circles through this ankle. Maybe noticing this side's a little different. Without attaching to it, but we can still be curious and see if we can use the breath to soften, to let go. Slow, mindful circles, moving with intention and reversing those circles. What is your intention? And finding stillness there. Rooting into the left hip, extending into the left heel, breathing into the back of the left leg. And then crossing that ankle over the thigh. Softening that left knee away from you. We'll go into the toe joints, excuse me, at the end. Equal weight in both sides of the hip for now. Aware of the sacrum rooting to the earth. Aware of the rhythm of your breath. Maybe the soft curve in the lower back. The shoulders flat on the earth beneath you. The heart open. Offering that left knee to move away from you. Maybe that right heel walks a little closer to the sitting bone. How does that feel? Maybe you're backing out of it. Maybe moving deeper. There is no right or wrong. Just what feels good in your body today. At this moment, with this breath, with your exhale, maybe both knees float over to the right, offering that left knee to move away from you as if you were trying to Stand that left foot on the earth and then inhale back up to center. Moving slowly, mindfully, allowing the breath to guide you, letting you know that you can only do just this right now. And how does that feel? Where is your edge? Are you anticipating an edge or are you allowing? Being curious, mindful of the breath in the body, aware of your edge. The next time you inhale up to center, find stillness as you root into the sacrum. Inhale, extending that left leg straight up to the ceiling again. As you reach into that heel, fan the toes open away from each other and exhale, gently curl them in. Inhaling and exhaling. And then finding stillness there and exhaling, bending that knee as you float the foot to the earth. And allowing that leg to extend straight out in front of you, and then the right leg comes to meet it. Allowing the body to rest into that support beneath you, aware of the breath. With your next exhale, the belly gathers and both knees draw in for a hug. Hugging them towards the chest, maybe a little massage on the lower back. What do you notice? And then finding stillness there, releasing the hands to the floor alongside you with the palms facing down. The knees are over the hips as if you were sitting in a chair. The feet are flexed. The lower legs are parallel to the earth, with right angles at the hip creases, the knees, and the ankles, or as close as you can get to that. And bring the focus back to the breath. You smooth it out. And are you aware of that natural curve in the lower back? You want to keep that curve. We want to keep drawing the front ribs towards the earth to engage the core a little deeper, not to effort or close off the breath, but to bring us deeper into a foundation of the thoracic body resting on the earth. So that with your exhale, you can tap that right foot down to the earth. And with your inhale, draw it back up. With your exhale, the left foot taps to the earth. And with your inhale, it comes back up. Moving with your breath side to side, slowly, mindfully. Smoothing out the movement with the breath and backing out of anything that doesn't feel good. So the feet can always come to the earth. So maybe you're bending your knee and the toes tap down and come back up. Or maybe you're able to float the knee out away from you before bending the knee and tapping the foot down. What do you notice? Is there a difference in the core muscles? Does this feel okay? Is the breath still moving freely? Are you able to find the ease in this movement linked to breath without an extra ounce of effort? Maybe one more time, ending with the left foot. And then allowing both feet to float to the earth. The feet walk to the width of the mat, nice and wide, allowing the knees to rest together. And then adjust the feet so that you're not hugging the knees together, they're just resting there naturally. And then release into the support of the earth beneath you, allowing the breath to open into the back body. Maybe you're aware of the back body as it expands into the earth beneath you, broadening from shoulder blade to shoulder blade. The heart lifting, the belly soft. Aware of the breath moving into the space around that wise heart. Breathing into the wings of the heart. With just this breath, in this moment. And with your next inhale, the knees come back up and the feet walk back to hips distance. We extend that right leg straight out onto the floor in front of us. And inhale the right arm alongside your ear or somewhere around there. Soften through the shoulder and let the left leg extend to meet the right. And walking both legs over to the left, keeping the hips resting on the earth. Maybe shifting the shoulders over to the left so that now you have a deep lengthening through the right side body, along the right side body. And the breath moves easily into this space that you've created. Softening through the jaw. Maybe with your next exhale, you can walk the feet over a little more, but the hips still stay resting on the earth. Now you breathe into this opening. With your next inhale, allow the legs to walk back to center and the shoulders to shift back in alignment with the hips as you float that right arm down. Taking a deep inhale here and a releasing exhale. And inhaling the left arm alongside your ear. Softening that arm into that shoulder. Or maybe this side is a little different and you walk the arm away from the ear or bend the elbow or find something to rest the arm on. And then you walk both legs over to the right. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you shift the shoulders over to the right. And you breathe into this space you've created on the left side body. Aware of the breath in as you guide it to fill the lungs completely. Aware of the breath out as you soften any gripping or tension or over-efforting. Finding the ease in this simple pose with this simple breath. Maybe the legs walk over a little further to the right. With your inhale, you walk the legs back to center, the shoulders shift, you exhale and float that left arm down. Deep inhale, filling the front and back of the heart space, and exhale, draw those knees in for a hug again. Maybe getting some movement here. Finding stillness, allowing the feet to float to the earth. Tucking the shoulder blades maybe a little closer to the center of the heart and sliding them down the back away from the ears. The back of the head rests on the earth, the arms alongside the body with the palms facing down. The breath is smooth, and with your exhale, maybe the chin comes a little closer to the notch in the collarbone, aware of a lengthening in the back of the neck, softening there. Aware of the foundation through the bottoms of the feet, the soles of the feet. And as you root into the foundation of the shoulders and the soles of the feet, you exhale there and inhale, lift the hips, the sacrum straight up to the ceiling. Maybe an inch, maybe two, maybe deeper. Exhale, lower down. As you move slowly, mindfully with the breath, inhaling, lifting, opening up the front body as the heart maybe puffs up towards the room in back of you. This is called bridge pose as we inhale up and then we roll down the back body one vertebra at a time to come back to the earth. Rolling bridges. Finding ease in the breath and the movement. Allowing the breath to guide the movement. Smooth, even breath means your body's safe, secure, supported, and this movement is within your range. Aware of the breath out, bringing you back to the earth. Aware of the breath in, lifting you to the expansive sky above you. This breath that's always with us. Bring us back into peaceful balance. With your next exhale, lowering down to the earth. Walking the feet the width of the mat again and finding your reclined windshield wiper as you allow the knees to float over to one side. And then inhale them back up to center and exhale them, lower them to the other side. Allowing gravity to act on the body. We're not forcing anything. We're just allowing gravity, the earth, to draw us a little closer to that support. Using the breath to guide us. Maybe noticing one side's a little different than the other. Can you use the breath to soften, to move a little deeper by letting go of the gripping, the holding? And then finding stillness with that next inhale, walking the feet back to hips distance and rolling over onto one side or the other, using your arm as a pillow. Drawing the knees up in the direction of the chest to start to allow a lengthening through the back body as the spine curves forward. Tailbone, heart space, shoulders, back of the heart opening, shoulders softening. Maybe the forehead comes in the direction of the knees without closing off the throat to find a lengthening through the back of the neck. Maybe the knees can come up a little closer towards the chest. No efforting. And then find the breath filling the back body. Aware of the expansion of the muscles between the ribs, releasing so the breath can fill completely. Of the entire body accepting the breath, of the echo of the breath throughout the body. Aware of the stillness. Breathing into the stillness. And then using your arms to press into the earth. With your exhale, we find the core and walk ourselves or draw ourselves up as we walk the hands up, coming over onto all fours. Taking the time to pad your knees with a blanket or a pillow. And then allowing the big toes to touch and walking the knees the width of the mat. With your exhale, draw the hips back in the direction of the heels. Inhale, lengthen through the front body, heart away from the belly button. Exhale, float down in the direction of the earth. And then allow the forehead to make contact with something, that third eye. Maybe you stack your hands, maybe you find a pillow or a block. Maybe the third eye rests on the earth, but we're not closing off the throat. We're keeping the length in the front body. And allowing the breath to be smooth and even, softening through the shoulders. With the intention of allowing the entire back body from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone to find its natural length. As if you could breathe into the skin on the back body. To allow a deep softening. Aware of the rhythm of the breath in your body. And with your exhale, gathering the belly, walking the hands under the shoulders to inhale yourself up onto all fours, into your tabletop. Maybe getting some movement here to find a comfortable foundation so that the wrist creases are just in front of the shoulders, so that the pads of the fingers and the joints at the base of the fingers root into the earth. Secure, safe foundation. The knees are under the hips. The shoulders slide away from the ears, and there's a broadening across the upper back. The belly is engaged just to support the back, not efforting. And with your inhale, keeping the body right where it is, extend the right leg in back of you, curling the toes under and reaching into that heel, finding a lengthening from the crown of the head into the heel. Staying right here, or maybe activating that right leg as you lift it towards the ceiling, straight out of the hip, not lifting the hip. Reaching into the heel, softening there. Maybe you're experimenting with inhaling that left arm alongside your ear. Maybe not today, and that hand arm floats back down. Give yourself a few rounds of breath here to soften the left arm into the shoulder socket, to move deeper by lifting the thumb towards the ceiling, to back out of anything that doesn't feel good. Maybe this is where you're staying. Maybe with your exhale, you're experimenting with bringing the knee and the elbow together underneath the body as you gather the belly in and up, and inhale, extending through that straight leg and straight arm, moving with your breath. Maybe the hand comes to the earth and you're going to move just the knee today, or just the leg. Finding strength and stability in the support, in the foundation, ease in the movement with the breath. Backing out of anything that doesn't feel good. Nice. And with your next inhale, finding that fullest extension. One more round of breath, reaching from fingertips to toe to heel and softening the back of the neck. And with your exhale, floating down, knee and hand. And inhale up over the knees if that's comfortable for you, so that you're standing up on your knees with the lower legs resting on the earth. And roll through those shoulders, big circles, shoulders up to ears. They slide down the back, together and down, big circles. And inhale, the shoulders lift, and exhale, they soften. Big inhale, exhale, soften. Interlace the fingers to the webbing and roll through the wrists. Or maybe it feels better for you to just make a soft fist and roll through the wrists. And reverse the circles. And inhale, open the palms to the ceiling, and exhale, curl in one finger at a time, and inhale, open it up. Exhaling in, inhaling, open. Nice, last time. And shake it out and let it go. Take one more shoulder loop up to the ears, together on the back body, broad opening across the collarbones, slide them down the back. Exhale, gather the belly, hinge at the hips to walk yourself slowly, mindfully back down into your tabletop. Root into the foundation. Find that secure, safe, stable place to rest and root. Find the breath. Keeping everything right where it is. Body. Inhale the left leg straight in back of you, curling the toes under so that you can reach into that heel. Opening up through the entire left side, lengthening from the crown of the head into the heel. With your exhale, the belly gathers, that leg becomes active as it reaches up towards the ceiling, straight out of the hip. Both hips still face the earth. How does this feel? Soften, find the ease of the breath. And maybe with your inhale, you experiment with the right arm extending alongside your ear. Slow down the movement to match the breath so that you're aware of your edge, of the efforting of your foundation, softening the right arm into the shoulder socket. To go deeper, we lift the thumb to the ceiling. We reach and extend through that opposite heel. And with your next exhale, as the belly gathers towards the ceiling, the elbow and the knee try to come together. And we inhale and find that extension. Moving in and out of the pose with your breath, slowing the movement down to match the breath. Maybe that right hand's on the floor and you're working with the core, moving the knee closer, with the thigh closer to the belly. No efforting, no compression in the front body. Finding the ease of linking breath and movement. Familiar movements to some of you. But if we add the mindfulness to it, we connect a little deeper. Aware of our edge, aware of the breath moving, the body. Aware of this moment, not rushing into the next. Not anticipating the next. And then finding stillness in that inhale, softening there. Find the support you need to lengthen a little deeper, maybe. And exhale, lower the hand and the knee. Walk the knees wide, let the big toes touch. Inhale there, exhale, hip creases reach back and the hips soften in the direction of the heels. Inhale, lengthening through the front body. Don't rush to come into this familiar pose. Exhaling, softening towards the earth, keeping length. When we rush, we miss something. We know that in our everyday lives. Especially in this time where one of the only outlets is taking a walk. If we rush, we miss something. Slow down enough so that we stop to smell those roses. So that we appreciate this moment with this breath, not worried about what the next breath brings us, not worried about the future. Can we just be right here, right now? That's what our yoga practice gives us. In these uncertain times, can we just be right here? And find the peace with this breath. With your next exhale, gather the belly and inhale, walk the hands forward to come into an active child pose so that you're on the pads of the fingers, maybe tenting the palm of the hand as if there were a tennis ball underneath. You feel the arms become active. The muscles around the shoulders become active without efforting the arms out of their sockets, so soften there. Find the breath. Maybe with your exhale, you can draw the hip creases back. Feel a deeper lengthening through the back body, no effort. Lifting the hips just a little so that you can curl the toes under, and then allow the palms of the hands to come to your mat. And reach into that foundation as if you could slide the top of the mat away from you. The pose is a little deeper here. Maybe this is where you rest with a nice even inhale and exhale. Maybe you're coming into downward facing dog, slowly, mindfully exhaling, the knees lift, and inhaling, the hip creases reach up and back. Soft bend in the knees, and maybe you bicycle out your dog or walk your dog as you gently bend deeply into one knee, lengthening through the opposite side. Inhale, both knees bend. Exhale, deeply bend into the opposite leg. And by deep, I mean finding the breath, moving with awareness to your edge, not locking out the knees or any joint effort ever. How are your shoulders? Are the arms still active? Is the belly hugging in and then up? And then maybe finding stillness in your downward dog. Maybe you're bending your knees and coming back down to the earth. Reaching the hip creases up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Exhaling, heels root to the earth, not touching, but in that direction. There's a lengthening through the back body. Using the foundation of the hands, the strength of the arms to reach those hip creases up and back. The foundation of the strong legs to open up. And with your exhale, bend into the knees. Come back down to all fours if you're not there already. And take some hip circles here. Hips reach out, around, and back. Please honor your body throughout the practice. And reverse those circles. Let the breath move the body. Or initiate the movement in the body. Slowing it down. And then finding stillness in this tabletop. And with your inhale, the right leg reaches back, extends, and with your exhale, it steps between your hands. Help it all the way forward. So that now you're into a low lunge. And how does this feel? Maybe you need a pad under your knees if it's not there, under your bent knee that's on the floor. I mean the back leg that's on the floor. The bent knee is over the ankle. The fingertips are on the earth, or maybe blocks if you have them. And with your inhale, we're shining the heart forward and softening the shoulder blades down the back. So now we have an active core supporting us. We root into that right foot, maybe drawing that right hip crease back, maybe inhaling, lifting the heart forward, maybe exhaling one hand and then the other comes to the top of the thigh. Inhaling, lengthening through the crown of the head as we open up into this left hip crease. How does this feel? Just 2 more rounds of breath here. Lifting the ribs up out of the hips, not hanging on the hip joints, active legs. Smooth breath, exhale, the belly gathers and we walk the hands back down to the earth. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right knee and step that right knee back. Get some movement here, wag your tail. Take hip circles, cat and cow, what do you need? And then find stillness in your tabletop. Inhaling, that left leg extends straight in back of you. Exhaling, the belly gathers as you step that left foot forward, helping it forward with your hands. So that as you settle into the right hip towards the earth, you are rooting into that left foot. You're using your hands as a foundation to inhale the heart between the armpits, between the arms, to lengthen through the front body. Exhaling, the belly gathers. Maybe you're staying right here, no efforting in the back of the neck. Maybe you're inhaling one hand and then the other to the thigh. Drawing that left hip crease back to have a deep opening in the right hip crease. How does this feel? Shoulders are soft, breath is smooth. Inhale there, exhale, soften. Big inhale, exhale, the hands float back down to the earth, slowly with control, walking that left arm inside the left leg so that you can step that left leg back. Finding the foundation of your tabletop. With your exhale, the tailbone tucks towards the heels as the spine starts to round towards the ceiling, maybe dropping the top of the head to the earth, the crown of the head. With your inhale, the tailbone lifts, the heart shines between the arms, maybe you lift your gaze. With your exhale, starting with the tip of the tailbone, rounding the back to the ceiling as you draw the belly button to the spine. With your inhale, lifting the tailbone, softening the belly, lengthening the sternum away from the belly button. Finding your expression of cat and cow. Moving slowly, mindfully with the breath, creating a wave of motion with the breath up and down the back body. Maybe you're staying with just pelvic tilts, not going all the way up the back. Maybe you're aware of a tightness or a gripping and you're coming into stillness and breathing into that space. This is your practice. Your body is very different than everyone else's, so maybe you need something different. Aware of the breath and allowing it to guide you. To be in this moment, just this movement, Oh, and then the next. Not racing forward, not regretting or looking back. And then finding stillness in your tabletop. And we'll come to step forward. Yogi's choice. Would you like to come forward from downward facing dog? Because that's an easy pose for you in that the breath is smooth and even. Or would you like to step forward from tabletop, like we just came into that lunge, exhaling, 1 foot steps forward, curling the toes under and straightening the opposite leg to step it forward. If you're in downward dog, you're stepping 1 foot and then the other forward. Inhaling into half forward fold so that you're parallel to the earth, gazing to the floor, straight line in the back of the neck. One straight line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Shoulders slide away from the ears and they lift together towards the sky. Broad opening across the heart space. Find that foundation through the soles of the feet. Exhale, gather the belly, root into those feet, and inhale, hinge all the way up to stand. Maybe you extend the arms up towards the ceiling. Soften the arms down into their shoulders, the shoulder sockets. Breathing in, breathing out, rooting into the circumference of the heels, the legs become active. With your inhale, maybe you can find a little more length as the ribs lift away from the hips, not efforting in the arms. With your exhale, float the arms to either side of the body, palms face down. Slowly with the breath, don't be in a rush. With your inhale, flip the palms up, cup the hands, scooping up the energy around you, lifting, extending, finding your edge. And with your exhale, floating the palms through the heart center, coming to either side of the hips. Inhaling, palms flip up, scooping up. And exhaling, coming through the crown of the head, the heart center, and coming to either side of the hips. 2 more rounds of breath like this. Aware of the breath, moving the body. Aware of your foundation. And the next time you exhale, find stillness, not rushing. Remember, I'm not practicing, I'm just modeling. You're moving with your breath. Finding that circumference of the heels again, connecting back to the earth, feeling safe, secure, and supported. The earth that's always there to support us. And then inhale, lengthening to the expansive sky above us and all the possibilities. Finding the heart, breathing into the wise heart that rests between the two. With your next inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. Exhaling the hands to the heart center, resting the thumbs there. Inhale, find length. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Soften the knees to find that half forward fold, parallel to the earth. Inhale there, exhale, root into the foundation. Inhale all the way up to stand, arms extend if that feels good for you. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward. Inhale there. Exhale, maybe hinge a little closer. Root into the earth. With your next inhale, come all the way up to stand, maybe extending through the fingertips. Exhaling, heart center. Inhale, lift the heart into the thumbs. Exhaling, hip creases reach back, knees soften. Inhaling there, exhaling, hinging a little closer to the earth if it's available to you, breathing in here. Maybe you inhale and extend the arms out. Maybe back. Palms face each other, fingertips reach to the room and back of you. Active legs, active shoulders. Exhale, belly hugging in and up. With your inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach through the fingertips. With your exhale, hinge forward, reverse the palms, press them up to the ceiling. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, lengthen, move with your breath. Maybe you're moving, exhaling, hinging forward, pressing the palms up. Finding a rhythm in the breath linked to the movement, the rhythm of your breath in your body. Soften the back of the neck. Find the foundation, lengthen from there. One more round like this. And with your next inhale, coming all the way up to stand. Exhaling, the hands float to the heart center. Finding your Tadasana, your mountain pose, as you root to the earth, lengthen up and settle with the breath. Aware of the breath as it moves in and out of the body, finding a gazing point or softly closing the eyes and resting in this stillness. Aware of the breath. Aware of the breath as it echoes in the body, and the body responds to the breath. Being right here in this moment, with this breath in, and this breath out. Smoothing out the breath, coming back to your natural rhythm. If your inhale, softly blink open the eyes. If you've closed them, extend the fingertips to the earth. I need to check the time. Oh, okay. So let's take a balancing pose and then we'll come back down to the earth. So, balancing pose. We'll find our tree pose today as the trees blossom around us and we welcome spring. We're rooting into the earth. Maybe the hands float to the hips, the shoulders slide down the back body. So I've already said that we're going into tree pose. Maybe you're anticipating your tree pose. Can you let go of any of that anticipation, expectation, and just be with your body and your breath today? Maybe you're on your sticky mat. That makes it a little more challenging. Maybe you're coming to a solid floor if it's available to you, to a wood floor. Root into the foundation, finding the connection through the circumference of the heels as the legs become active and the core engages to lift the ribs gently out of the hips. The weight shifts over the left leg so that we can come onto the toes of the right with a bent knee. And then we reconnect to that foundation through that standing leg, drawing that left hip in and up. Take what you need, let go of the rest, let go of efforting, find the breath. Maybe this is where you're staying today. Maybe you're rotating the right leg in the hip socket, allowing the heel to rest against the ankle. Maybe this is where you're staying with the toes on the earth, finding a gazing point that helps to steady you. Rooting down, lengthening up. Maybe you're able to inhale the toes off the floor and exhale, tap them down. Maybe you're able to slide that foot onto the calf, find that foundation of the foot rooting into the calf, of the calf rooting into the foot, drawing that right knee to the room and back of you. Leg is active, working against gravity. Core is active, lifting you. Maybe you inhale the hands to the heart center. Maybe you grow your roots so that you can extend through the arms, aware of the breath, aware of the proprioception in the body, that we're not just resting in stillness on the sole of that foot, but there's movement. Being okay with that as we bring awareness back to the breath. Maybe with your inhale, that knee floats forward. Maybe you're able to extend that leg straight out in front of you and then float that foot gently back down to the earth. Shake it out, let it go. Each side is different. So we exhale and find the foundation here, starting in our mountain pose again. Maybe the hands are on the hips, the shoulders away from the ears. Rooting down to lengthen up, allow the weight to shift over the right leg, coming onto the toes of the left. Maybe this is where you're staying, connecting to the earth through the foundation in that right leg, drawing the right hip in, maybe rotating the left knee out to the side, leg in the hip socket. Yep, stay facing forward, soften there. Maybe the heel rests against the ankle. Find that gazing point. Maybe with your inhale, the toes lift, and with your exhale, they tap down. Maybe you're able to bring the foot to the ankle or the calf. Find that new foundation, root into it, and lengthen up, drawing that left knee to the room and back of you. Active legs, active core, easy breath. Maybe you're inhaling the hands to the heart center, committing to that foundation, to growing your roots so that you can inhale and open up the arms, accepting, meeting your body wherever it is today without judgment, without expectation, smoothing out the breath. Easy breath in, easy breath out. Inhaling, that knee floats forward, maybe the leg extends before allowing it to step lightly onto the earth. Reconnecting with that foundation. Maybe the left hand comes over the heart and the right hand on top of it. Using the exhales to soften. The inhales to open. Breathing into the front and back of the heart space. Aware of the inhale. Aware of the exhale. Aware of the foundation beneath you and the expansive sky above you. Resting somewhere in between the two with your peaceful breath. With your next inhale, the eyes blink open, and if you're not at the top of your mat, stepping to the top of your mat. With your inhale, the fingertips reach towards the earth. Exhale there, soften. Inhale, arms extend. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, lengthening there. Exhale, deeply bend the knees so you can step, bring the hands to the earth and step one knee back and then the other. And then allow the hips to come to one side so that you can extend the legs straight out in front of you. Scoot yourself, your bottom to the middle of your mat. With bent knees and the feet on the floor, we take one hand and then the other to the back of the thighs. Aware of the sitting bones connecting to the earth. Using the foundation, the hands on the thighs, to inhale and lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, soften through the shoulders. Keeping that length as we extend the arms and allow the body to come back to rest on the top of the sacrum. Soften through the shoulders. If the breath became ragged or uneven, you're coming back to a straight seat. Working the core muscles. So the more you open, the less the hip flexors are involved. The more the core has to work. How's the breath? Maybe the palms can open up towards the ceiling today, maybe not. Keep lifting through the heart as if there were a string, reaching it up towards the ceiling. And when you're ready, you're carving out the belly and exhaling, lowering down, maybe coming to elbows, maybe rolling over to one side and then resting flat on the earth. Maybe the knees stay bent. Maybe you can extend one leg and then the other. Couple of rounds of breath here, just releasing back into that support of the earth. Maybe with your next exhale, you draw one knee and then the other in for a hug, rocking from side to side. And then finding stillness there, allowing the feet to float back to the earth. If you have a block or a pillow or a blanket and you like to prop your hips and legs up the wall, then keep that next to you. Maybe you're going to stay with, we're bending our knees, resting the feet flat on the earth, shoulders together underneath the heart. Keeping the head resting on the earth, gazing to the ceiling. And with your inhale, lifting up into your bridge pose, rooting the shoulders, the soles of the feet to the earth, active legs, active back body to open the front body. Maybe you're staying in this bridge pose. Maybe you're bringing yourself into a supported bridge pose, resting a block under the sacrum, not the lumbar spine, not the curve, but under the sacrum or a pillow or a blanket. Or maybe you're lowering back down to the earth. Maybe the hands snuggle under the hips, thumbs and pointer finger together, palms down. And then you're able to inhale one leg and then the other up towards the ceiling. This is our inversion. Resting on the earth, legs extended up. Maybe you have a wall or a bed that you can rest the legs against. Maybe the legs come a little wider and they rest in the hip sockets, soften through the feet. Find the breath filling the front and back of the heart space. And with your next exhale, the knees draw in for a hug. Or their feet are coming to the floor to remove your prop so that you can bring the knees in for a hug. And then you're rocking from side to side again. Maybe the hands come to the knees and you make some circles of the legs in opposite directions, the knees away from each other towards the chest, together and away. And then you reverse those circles. And then extending that right leg straight out onto the floor in front of you. Taking the right hand to the left knee, allowing the left arm to extend straight out with the palm up. Exhale there and inhale, float that leg over to the right, that knee. Not forcing it, but just allowing the gentle weight of your hand to draw that knee over in the direction of the earth, to allow for a gentle twist, shoulder blades resting on the earth, left shoulder rooted, left hip floating away from the armpit, left knee closer to the earth. Breathing into that space from the fingertip on the left hand into the heart space, that space below the collarbone. Maybe allowing your head to turn your gaze towards the left fingertips, your chin towards your left shoulder. Maybe that doesn't feel so good for you. Breathing into this twist, using the exhale to soften. Maybe that means you're backing out of the twist. Maybe it means the muscles in the back body soften, lengthen, and maybe they actually float a little closer to the earth. Easy breath in, soft breath out. Inhaling, the gaze floats to the ceiling as that knee comes back up, and exhale, hug it in one more time. Extend that left leg straight out on the floor in front of you as you draw the right knee in for a hug. Extending the right arm out onto the earth as you use the left hand to draw that right knee over and away from you. Softening, the right shoulder connects to the earth, lengthening through the right side body, hip away from armpit, knee towards the earth. Gentle weight of the left hand, encouraging that left side body to open. Maybe bringing your gaze to the fingertips on the right hand as the chin softens towards that shoulder. No efforting, just the ease of the breath moving in and moving out. Using the exhales to release, to allow just a little more lengthening of the muscles, letting go of the gripping. The breath moving just a little deeper. With your inhale, gazing up to the ceiling. With your exhale, releasing that twist, drawing that right knee in for one more hug. And then the left comes in to meet it. Rocking if that feels good. Maybe taking one final pose to complete your practice. Or maybe you're ready to settle into stillness, to rest onto the earth, preparing for Shavasana. Easy breath in, soft breath out, covering up if you need to, blankets, socks, sweatshirts. And then settling into stillness, choosing stillness. Aware of the support beneath you. Feeling safe and secure. And allowing the body to become heavy into that support. Following the breath. As you breathe in, bring awareness to the breathing in. As you breathe out, bring awareness to the breathing out. The breath teaching us that we can only do one thing at a time. So that when we have a hard time seeing a future, we are okay with bringing ourselves back to the present. We use the breath to be right here with that inhale, to bring awareness to the exhale, to bring loving awareness to the felt experience of the body. As you're breathing in, know that you're breathing in, bringing loving awareness to the breath. Feel how the breath is teaching us to do one thing at a time. Knowing that everything you need is already here. Right here with the breath. Bringing awareness to the thoughts as they tug at you, honoring them, and allowing them to float away as if they were on a cloud, gently bringing the focus back to the breath. Aware that you're breathing in, aware that you're breathing out. Allowing for the peace that the breath brings. Allowing for the body to soften into that security of the earth. Aware of the sensations in the body. Without attaching to them, we honor them and allow that to float away. As we learn to use the breath to draw us out of or away from the gripping, to let go and be okay with this breath, to be right in the center of our circle, with all of life, its rotation around us. Not getting caught up in that flow. Being okay right here. Wise heart, peaceful breath, ease in the body. One breath at a time. Aware of the breathing in, aware of the breath out. We practice. Over and over again, we practice. We honor our thoughts. We honor our feelings. They're what make us human. Sometimes we lean into it and we're okay. Being right here in this moment. Because we have the breath that's always with us. Aware of the breath in, aware of the breath out. The earth supporting us, the vast sky above us, and the wise heart between the two. Breathing into the wings of the heart. Slowly becoming aware of the earth beneath you. Becoming aware of the space surrounding you. As you gently deepen your inhales and exhales. Slowly bringing your body back from stillness. Small gentle movements, softly rubbing your thumb against your fingertips. Wiggling your toes. Maybe slowly turning your head from side to side. And with a deep awakening inhale, maybe the arms extend up overhead, interlacing the fingers to the webbing and rotating the palms away from you. A deep awakening stretch. With your next exhale, releasing that bind, floating the arms to a comfortable position. As you bend one knee and then the other to step the feet softly onto the earth, transitioning here. Feeling more awake and alert with every inhale. Relaxed and peaceful. Ready to embrace the day ahead of you. And knowing that you can come back to this place of peace just by returning to the breath. A breath that is always with you. Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. Allowing the breath to fill the front and back of the heart space. Keeping the eyes softly closed if that suits you. Press into the earth and draw yourself up into your comfortable, easy, seated position, whatever that is for you. And with your inhale, the arms extend. And with your exhale, the palms float together and rest at the heart center. And I bring you the message that I get from my teacher and he gets from his teachers and all the teachers that have come before. That our practice be continuous. That we bring our yoga into each breath and each step. That our hearts stay steady for ourselves and for each other. That we dedicate our efforts to be of benefit to all beings. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May they find their freedom. May they live in peace. And may they walk through the world with ease. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you, everyone. Hope you feel good.
Marie, may I say something? This is
Sure.
This is Joan. I just have to say I'm absolutely blown away.
I hope that's a good thing.
I'm blown. Oh, it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. I feel very mellowed out. I feel great. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This was recorded. I'll be sending you the recording. You'll have it to practice whenever. Share it if you want.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
Very generous of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Great.
Enjoy your day, ladies. I'll see you again on Wednesday.
Namaste.
Namaste.